to 46b. 46b. Mem Vav Amid Beis. Okay, according to my understanding, we're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Looks like a good place to start. Amar of Shmuel bar Nachmani. It's 20 lines down from the top. First word of the line is Omrim, and it just says Aleph Reish, the end of the line. That's Amar Rebbe. Aleph Reish, Amar Rebbe.
Isn't it Amar Rebbe? Oh, Amar Rebbe, yeah. Got it.
Okay, so who'd like to read?
Is there any more Gemoras around?
You don't have a Gemora? Oh, get you a Gemora. Let's see. There is a Gemora over here, I believe.
We have a Vilna edition of the Schottenstein edition. Well, you have the Schottenstein edition. You have the Schottenstein edition. Check the Gemara.
Yeah.
And it's art school. This is from Vilna, that's where the Bav's Mishpacha came from. That collection. The Vilna edition was standard for generations.
Yeah. Delicious.
And the last word of the line is Amar Rebbe.
Yep. I read up to the yesterday, so it comes on the
Okay. How about Roy?
Omer Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachman said, Nain la'amasi la'amanu arav harayah. Where do we get the principle that one seeking to exact payment from his fellow bears the burden of proof? Myanmar stated, which stated whereas a grievance should approach the Yakish, this means that the faith incurred a grievance should present the judge's proof.
Okay, so where do we know that the one who wants to take money out from his friend, he is the one who has to bring a proof that he's entitled to the money? Okay. As opposed to what else? What other possibility could there be?
Well,
A rove. Okay.
these things.
That's another possibility. We're talking here about who bears the burden of proof. Right? So who bears the burden of proof over here according to Shmuel bar Nachmani?
The one who is demanding.
The Motzi. What's another possibility?
The one who owns.
That the one that has the money in his pocket. Maybe he should bear the burden of proof.
That it's his.
Yeah. Right? Show us the receipt. That's a possibility also. Okay, just a right? It's a possibility. So First of all, two things in other words. The burden of proof, who does it rest upon? The one that wants to take out. And what does it take for him to take it out? Only a proof, as opposed to a oath. Two ideas really are involved in this statement. Right?
Right.
Who's the one that has to prove his proof? And how much proof does he gotta have? The one that needs to prove it is the one that's taking out. How much does he got to prove? He's got to bring a proof. Got to bring a proof.
We didn't qualify
What's the proof?
how much proof he has to bring. Does that mean 1 proof, 2 proofs, 3 proofs? No.
Okay, so when we say raya, we mean, what do we mean?
Evidence.
What type of evidence?
Could be written, it could be aided, it could be different standards.
Okay, could be Adim. Right? Adim has to testify that, yeah.
Before this transaction happened.
We saw that he gave him $1,000, right? And Rash says a shtar, right? Evidence. So that also needs Adim on the shtar.
Signature.
Or maybe the person that received the money, if he signs it also, that would be enough also too. That's like Hodas Baldin. The admission of the party to be charged is as good as 100 witnesses on the other side saying that the guy gave him the money. Okay.
In American law, when there's a signature, we have to be sure that it's a legitimate signature. In many cases, we ask to be notarized. A third party should say, this person came in front of me and he signed it, so I know it's Moshe Chaim's signature. Is that interesting in halacha?
Where do you think they got that idea from in American law?
From that, you're saying...
There's such a thing as a notary in Torah law?
They have to be Makayim the signatures.
Oh, there is a
Kiyum Shtaros. Kiyum Shtaros.
Very nice.
To establish the authenticity of this document. How do you establish the authenticity of this document? The Beis Din finds people that are willing to say, yeah, that's his signature. I know him, I know his signature, that's his signature. Or I saw him sign it.
How long is notarization? One it's from the time of the Gemora. I have no idea. How long is notarization? As a long time. That's an interesting question. I don't know about that. Yeah.
So, the two kinds of proofs so far, or could be presented Adim, Shtar, is there another one?
Admission.
What?
Admission.
Admission.
Hodas Baldin.
The admission of the guy who was being claimed against. He says, yeah, you're right.
That's true.
Oh.
Okay. And now another thing that we should see from this statement over here. He says about this, Minayan. What's Minayan mean?
From where?
From where?
Ushtatos. Where is it written that this is so?
Minaya means written? That's interesting.
Minayan means where do we know it from?
Yeah.
But where do we know things from?
Dafka, right? Does it dafka mean written?
It generally means from a pasuk. Pasuk is something that's written.
What
Right?
about Torah Shal Peh?
Torah Shebal Peh is based upon the psukim, right? Everything is based upon the psukim, right?
But we could bring a raya from a Mishnah or a Gemora, right? Or a Brisa.
Yeah, but generally, test it out. Whenever the Gemora asks me 9, see what the Gemora answers.
Use the pasuk?
Most of the times, the Gemora has a pasuk. Right? As opposed to, what's the whole idea of Minayin?
verbal evidence?
It's part of Torah. It's part of Torah. It's not something that somebody made up. It's part of Torah. That's what Hashem says. That's what's in the Torah. Reb Zatzal, he had an irreligious, I think he said it was a relative, and he was trying to explain to her this idea of Vu steht das? Where is it written? So the woman said, where does it say that it has to be written? She was the smart one. So he says, oh, otazeh. Now I see you got the point. Now you got it. You got it now.
That's good.
Wo steht das als wo steht das? Ah, otazeh. Okay. So where does it say? Where does it say? It's a pasuk. Mi bal devorim yigash aleihem. Mi bal devorim yigash aleihem.
What's called the firm?
It's, the reference given here is Exodus 24:14.
Yeah, let's take a look at this pasuk. I want to take a look at this pasuk inside in the Chumash. Get some of the Chumashim over here that we have.
Shemos.
Shan. Okay, this is chapter 24, Chaf Dalet. Chaf Dalet. Got to Chaf Dalet? Pasuk Yud Dalet. You got paired Chaf Dalet?
What pasuk?
Now pasuk
We have Mishpatim.
Yud Dalet.
Mishpatim.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a
Yud
Mishpat.
Dalet.
Elas Gainem Amar?
So,
Eila Rashi.
Yedam? Yedam?
what
Yedam?
happened?
Why are you not in I'm in the wrong place.
Everybody got the right place?
Chaf Dalet, Yedam. Elas Gainem Amar?
Right, that's right. Very good. I want to start and give you a little background. What's this pasuk doing over here? Right. Start from Yud Beis. Yomer Hashem al Moshe. Hashem says to Moshe, Alei alai hahara, come up to me on the mountain. V'yeh sham etnena lecha es luchos ha'evan. Torah b'mitzvah asher kasavti laharosa. I'm going to give you the luchos. I'm going to give you the luchos ha'evan, the Torah, the mitzvah.
You will be there?
Which word?
Yesham. Is that superfluous? Alei Hahara.
V'heyeh sham.
Alei Hahara, you're going to be there, so why do we need the Yesham? Is there any
Interesting. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. You'll come. He's.
Achavat and Torah, that's what they said, okay?
Rashi says, Alei alai ahara, v'heyeh sham. You're gonna come up to me on the mountain, and you're gonna be there. So Rav Aaron asks, what do you need? Obviously, if you're gonna come up there, you're gonna be there.
Right.
So Rashi was bothered by the same question that you were, Rav Aaron.
Wow, what a matrika.
1,000 years later.
What did he say?
Wow.
Rashi says,
The Yom.
Arbaim Yom.
40 days.
Oh, Hashem.
What was Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu?
You're going to be with me before
Pack
you
your
leave.
bags before you come.
He's telling him how long he's going to be there.
And he didn't
This
eat or sleep for 40 days.
this was the avot, right? That's right. How did he do that? How did he do that?
He had some vitamin pills, I don't know.
I have no clue.
I had no clue. He said, we're getting the Torah over here. It's up to me. I got to get the whole Torah. I got 40 days. I don't got time to do anything except to learn the Torah. And he did it. He did it. So this is something. This is an interesting point because part of the avodas parach, the breaking difficult work of Mitzrayim was that they would tell the Yidden, here, you know what? Dig this hole over here. How long should I dig it? Don't worry about that. Just start digging. And the poor Jew, he doesn't know how long he's going to have to keep doing this. Avodas parach. When am I going to be finished with this? Hashem says, I'm giving you a preview of what's going on over here. You're going to be here for 40 days. Prepare yourself. Okay. Yesham. And I'm going to give you the three things. Lukos Evan, Veha Torah, and the Torah, Veha Mitzvah. Asher Kesafti Laharosa.
A mitzvah, singular?
Only one mitzvah. Says Rashi. Kol sheish meos v'shalosh esrei mitzvahs. All 600. We know that there's 613 mitzvahs.
Right.
Where do we know that from? Minayin.
From here, from Nafshi.
Where does Rashi know it from? Somewhere we know. Somewhere we know that there's 613 mitzvahs. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a machlekes. Tanoim. Anyway, we're getting way sidetracked. So Rashi says all the 613 mitzvahs, which we that's the accepted view, that we have 613 of them. V'chlal aseres hadibros heim. They are all included in the aseres hadibros. Uvenu sadya pirish v'azharos. Shisad v'kol dibur v'dibur mitzvahs hatluyas boy. So if you'll ask, where do you see 613 mitzvahs in those 10 statements? So Rashi says that's Rav Sadia Gaon. He explains. He explains that you have to know what you're looking for over there in the Azharos. Shisad v'kol dibur v'dibur. Each one of the 10 dibros. There are mitzvahs that are included in the main mitzvah of the.
We still don't have a cheshbon. We're saying with this so lengthy details, but we still don't have a number.
613.
Yeah, what does it say?
Oh, where does it say the 613?
Yeah, I don't see it in there.
Right. That's right. Where does it say that there's 613? I don't remember where the Gemora, but the Gemora mentions. I think it's the end of Makos. It's the end of Makos because that's on that Gemora. The Gemora makes a cheshbon that the Navim said all the Targum mitzvahs are included in. I can include them in 10. I can include them in 7. I can include them in Bo Habakkuk. Habakkuk came b'midol achas. He said that they're all included in this one mitzvah, Tzadik ben Munaso Yichya, the mitzvah of living with Emunah. That's what Habakkuk came to say. And that's all the mitzvahs are that's what they are. Over there, the Gemora says, I believe that there's 613.
But over here, and we're all learning this from Mahavitzvah. That's all inclusive. So we're saying that Ha-mitzvah means all the 613, that's all inclusive.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Rashi didn't deal with that one.
It makes sense to me, but
What's the question we're doing now?
It says in the pasuk ha-mitzvah. It makes it sound like there's just one mitzvah. You know, there's a lot more than one mitzvah.
Right.
But Rashi doesn't deal with that question. A good question, but Rashi doesn't deal with it. We're not going to deal with it right now either, because we're on our way to understanding this pasuk Yud Dalet.
But isn't Rashi's question, unwritten question, why is it singular? And his answer is, it's not. It's even though it's singular, it means 613.
He's not explaining that. You know what he's explaining?
What?
He's explaining, we know that in the Luchos, there's the Aseres HaDibros. It's mentioned over here, the Luchos. I'm going to give you the Luchos Evan, says Rashi. That says the pasuk.
Right.
Right? And then it says, and the Torah and the Mitzvah, Asher Kasafti, that I'm going to write on them, that I have written on those Luchos. And then Rashi just says, all the 630, if you'll ask the question, but where are all the mitzvahs written on these 613? Rashi says, yeah, all 613 are included in these Aseres HaDibros that are written, that Hashem wrote in the Luchos. And Rav Sadia Gaon explains how to derive them out from the Aseres HaDibros.
But they're also written in the Torah. Sefer HaChinuch goes through and points out where each one is written in the Torah. So if they're written twice, why does Rashi have to glom onto the 10 statements when he's got the fact that the Torah is written in the Luchos?
Because Rashi saw in his pasuk that all of the mitzvahs are contained in the Aseres HaDibros. All the mitzvahs, 613, are in the Aseres HaDibros. That's what Rashi saw in this pasuk. Hashem says, I'm giving you the Luchos Evan and the Torah and the mitzvah that I have written over there. The Harosam, to teach you.
Rashi is probably saying, we don't have to know the 613, because you see, it's all inclusive. They're all there. How many are there?
They're all there.
The
All there.
613?
They're all there. Okay, so that's what the pasuk is saying. Hashem says to Moshe, come to me, and you're going to be with me for 40 days. So what's Moshe Rabbeinu? Next pasuk, V'yakum Moshe. Moshe gets up. Yeshua Misharso, and also Yeshua his servant. And V'yal Moshe Elahar Elokim, and Moshe goes up to the Har Elokim.
What did Yeshua do? He was standing at the foot of the mountain waiting for Moshe. Doesn't say it, but that's what. I don't know the facts.
He knows he's not going to see Moshe Rabbeinu for another 40 days. He's going to say, how am I going to live the next 40 days? I'm going to accompany him as far as I can and ask him everything that I need to ask him for now, because I'm not going to be able to ask him anything for another 40 days.
What is this word, Misharas?
From the word Sherut.
Service.
He's this one who serves Moshe Rabbeinu.
Servant. His servant.
His servant. Mishar So. His servant. Yeshua. That's the title that Yeshua is given.
Sometimes you
He's his servant.
use it as sometimes you use it as shlili. Well, I'm your church, I'm your servant. I've heard that use of the words.
Yeah. And now Moshe Rabbeinu, in Pasuk Yud Dalet, he says, El Zakanim, Amar. And to the Zakanim, to the elders, who were over there, I guess, as well. Amar, he said, Shvu lanu b'zeh ad asher nashuv aleichem.
Shavu is be seated, wait.
Rashi says, "V'hitakvu kan im shar ha'am b'machaneh lios nechonim lishpot l'kol ish riboy." Now that I'm going up to Har Elokim, the job of judging the people now devolves upon you, and you gentlemen, the Zakenim. So Rashi says, you're going to stay here. You're not coming up with me, and you're going to remain here with the rest of the people in the camp. You're not going to come with me like Yeshua is, and you're going to be prepared. Nechonim lishpot l'kol ish ribo. Any man that comes to you to judge his disputes. Ad asher nashuv, back in the pasuk, Ad asher nashuv aleichem.
It should be referring Moshe and Yeshua, or just Moshe?
Right, the two of them. Nashuv is plural. Ad asher nashuv aleichem. V'hinei Aaron b'chur imachem. And don't feel
Lonely?
like you're being
Pushed aside?
yeah, because Aaron and Hur are also going to be with you. And then this is the part of the pasuk that is the proof. Mi bal devorim yigash aleihem. Let's go right to this. Rashi says, Mi bal devorim, mi sheyesh lo din, the one who has a din, he has a case to judge. It says, yigash aleihem. He should approach aleihem. He should approach them.
So he takes the initiative.
Right. In other words, he's the one who has a din, meaning he has a complaint. Right. The person that doesn't have any complaints, he doesn't have any judgment to do. He's at home sipping his tea. But this is a person who has a judgment. He has a complaint. He has a claim against someone. Somebody owes him something. That's what he says. Yigash aleihem. He's going to have to come to him. Meaning, Shmuel bar Nachman, he says that he's going to have to be the one to bring the proof.
This is not my topic, but does Moshe Rabbeinu have to tell this Canaan, don't be nervous, Aaron and Hur are with you? Like, why would the Canaan so apprehensive?
Why are the what?
Why is the Canaan, why did Moshe Rabbeinu tell this Canaan, don't worry, Aaron and Hur and Nabi was, don't be nervous, don't be apprehensive. Were they so, Tanei Amunah? I don't see the motivation.
Oh, what was Moshe Rabbeinu's
The motivation to tell them, don't worry. It's all right, you go Aaron, of course. You're not by yourself. In other words, misery loves company, that's it. Try to say.
Aaron b'chur yimachem.
You're with good company, don't worry. But this is Canaan, they're supposed to be the leaders. It's not on topic, but it's a sort of...
The Torah, what Moshe Rabbeinu means to say is that if you'll say, well, if you leave Moshe Rabbeinu, so who's going to be in charge? So he's saying, look,
Don't worry.
you have Aaron and Hur. They're my substitutes. Right? When Moshe goes to Hashem. Aaron is the one who's now the one in charge, and Hur is the one who's going to also be
Back up.
yeah.
And that proves
With
later
you.
with Egel HaZahav, they said, where's Moshe Rabbeinu? So the Am was very nervous. They didn't know where Moshe Rabbeinu was. Satan did all kind of things.
Right.
So Aaron then was in charge, and he says, we'll build an Egel HaZahav, and so the whole thing fits in very well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's see. Do we have any Rashi over here? No. Doesn't look like we have any Rashi. Okay. So let's go further.
Back
Let's
to the
go
Gemara.
further. So
Back to the Gemara.
the one, in other words, who comes with claims on his friend, he's the one that's going to need to bring a proof of his claim.
The verb actually.
And that is from this word yigash.
It doesn't say proof. It just says approach them.
In other words, yigash, what is he going to come approach with? So, right, they're saying
be a
he's going
claim.
to approach with what?
Could be a claim. Doesn't have to be a proof.
That they don't need to tell us that. Of course, he has a claim, that we know. What's he going to bring with him?
Maybe what it's teaching us is that the court can't initiate a case even if they know about the facts without somebody actually coming and bringing a claim. Like with the Supreme Court of the United States. Let's say that the Congress passes a law and the Supreme Court knows it's unconstitutional. They can't rule.
Somebody has to be a claim.
Unless somebody actually brings a case where they challenge that law,
Okay.
the Supreme Court is helpless. So maybe this is just teaching us that principle.
Well, we don't have in Torah such a thing as challenging the law as being unconstitutional. Right? Everything is constitutional.
It's a Hashem. He wrote
Hashem.
He wrote his own constitution. He wrote his own
I would
constitution.
disagree. We could see the Torah as being like the Constitution. The role of the court is to apply the Torah or the Constitution to the situation.
Okay. So therefore,
the court cannot act on its own. It can't take the initiative. There has to be a claim that comes before it can make a ruling.
we would need to be told that. Why do we need to be told that?
Because otherwise you might think the court could take action on its own. The court could initiate the action.
How
They
could
find
they-
out that there's a
Inconsistency.
they find out that there's a case, somebody damaged somebody,
Yeah.
and they say, okay, we're going to stand up for the injured party, and we're going to initiate a case ourselves. We might have thought that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a possibility.
Okay.
It's a possibility.
Okay. So you want to say that you might have thought the Bezdin would take the law into its own hands, even without the injured party coming to them.
Right.
And we need to be told that no, the Bezdin's not allowed to do that.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what the Gemora is going to say about this proof of Shmuel Bar Nachman. Okay, want to read? Maski Flora Ash.
Maski Floss, a strong question was asked by Rav Ashi. What, Lama, Li, why do I need Kra? Why do I need a pasuk? Savara Hu. It's logical. Dechaiv le ke'eva azil leve asra. One who is suffering from pain goes to a doctor. So in other words, what they're saying is, all this pasuk has said is one who has a grievance should go to the court. But I can tell you that logically without the pasuk. You haven't said anything about proof. All you've said is somebody who needs something goes to a place you can get it.
He compares that to a stomach ache. That's
Well,
an interesting
Yeah,
comparison.
just like in right, just like in matters of
Medicine.
physical health, he has a problem.
Go to the
Something's
doctor.
bothering him. So what does he do? The doctor doesn't come to him and knock on your door and
Doesn't
say, "Oh, maybe
How
you
you
need maybe you need my services."
No, Reb
No, the
Shlomo says-
doctor stays in his office in Beverly Hills, right, and charges $2,000 an hour. And people that are rich enough to afford his exorbitant prices go to him, right?
Reb
Absolutely.
Shlomo
That's
had a
the way it
different
works.
interpretation yesterday.
That's the American way.
No, Reb Shlomo says teaches us something else. Doctors do not make house calls. He said this is the
Well, then they'll charge $5,000 an hour.
Rabbi,
Plus travel time.
you're getting very monetary over here. I don't know what's going on.
All right. So in other words, what is Rav Ashi's kasha? What's his kasha? What's he asking? He's maskif means that he's asking a kasha on Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani. He doesn't have a maskif generally means a question in svora. He doesn't have a pasuk that says not like that. He doesn't have a mission that says against what Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani says. It doesn't make sense what you say, Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani. Why not? What's he saying that doesn't make sense?
It's logical. If you have a claim, you go to the doctor. Just like when you're ill, you go to the doctor. So
And okay, that's true, and therefore
what is
We
he-
don't need this pasuk.
we don't need this pasuk.
To teach us this principle.
Rav Shmuel Nachmani is saying, where do we know this principle from?
it's possible.
We have a pasuk that tells me so.
Well, that strengthens the situation.
And if we wouldn't have that pasuk, what would we say?
Same thing.
We wouldn't know what to say. We wouldn't know what to say. It's only because of this pasuk that we were able to say that this is the din. That's the implication of Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani. On that, Rashi says, no. What it said, this is what the whole principle of a motzim mechaver olav araya is a svara. It can be derived from svara. And something that could, and a true principle that could be derived from svara,
Doesn't need a person.
pasuk doesn't need a pasuk. A
What-
pasuk tells me something that I would not necessarily have known, right? Things that I know on my own, I don't need a pasuk to tell me.
So what's wrong with having a person to fortify what I know on my own? Huh?
What do you need it for?
Torah
Your
is her way
svara
first.
is the raya. Your svara is the raya. I need two rayas. One good raya is all I need. The Torah doesn't go around telling us things that we already know. The Torah tells us things that we wouldn't necessarily have known. So Rav Ashi says we would have known this without the pasuk. And he's giving an example, just like in the case of a medical issue. He's got a medical problem, so he goes to the doctor. The doctor doesn't come to him. He's the one who's got the medical problem. So too, somebody has a monetary problem. He's the one that has to. He's the one not only that has to go to the court, but he has the one to prove his case. He's got to be the one to prove the case. Oh, so then your question will be, so then what does this pasuk mean? This pasuk is not telling me what Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani wanted to say that it was telling me.
You say it's a surplus, it's extra.
Ella,
Kra lechid var lechid rav lechid Rav Nachman. Rather, this pasuk is like Rav Nachman. Amar Rabba, who said in the name of Rabba bar Avuha, de Amar Rav Nachman, that Rav Nachman said, Amar Rabba bar Ahuva, in the name of Rabba bar Ahuva, Avua, minayin, from where she'ein nizkakin ella la toveya techila, from where that he gets involved with the plaintiff first. And where do we know that the court first deals with the plaintiff?
Right. What does the
Right.
Beis Din do? They turn to the one who's the
Okay.
Toveya, who has the claim, and he says, okay, you have the claim. So tell us, what's your claim?
But don't we have a principle that the court cannot hear the claim without both parties being present?
True. Here we're saying that when they're both here, who's the one?
To speak first. I got it.
Who's the one who brings his side of the story first?
Tova.
Right.
Which is a very important thing, right? Because it's human nature that the first thing you hear,
The first impression is
it goes in.
the first impression. Yeah, what, aren't you saying the basin has to be objective? So does it really matter if it's first or second?
They have to be objective. True.
But it's harder, you're saying, you hear the one side first, so that'll make a bigger impression.
Okay.
Okay.
A question, what do they keep repeating? Who says the name of who? Isn't that a little superfluous?
That's the way the Gemora says it. Elakra, this pasuk here that he's brought, Rishon Bar Nachmani, we could say that we have this pasuk. We need the pasuk according to what Rav Nachman said in the name of Rabbi Baravo. That's the first thing the Gemara wants to say. That's step one. The need for that pasuk. The need for that pasuk is it's like someone else said. Rav Nachman said in the name of Rabbi Baravo. Oh, what exactly did he say? That's step two. And then we say that who's the one who said it? We always have to say who's the one who said it. So we say that Rav Nachman Baravo, so he said in the name of Rabbi Baravo, he said this din. Minayin she'ein nizkakin el tovei tchila. From where do we know that the Beis Din takes up the claim of the claimant first? And now the Gemara continues to quote the pasuk.
Mi ba'al dvarim yigash aleinu. As it is stated, whoever has a grievance should approach them. Yigash divar rav aleinu, presenting the matter before them. Continue.
In other words, now just let's understand this a little bit. What's the difference between what? In other words, Shmuel Bar Nachmani, he said from this word yigash. Yigash means yigash raya aleihem. He should bring the raya. He's the one that should bring the raya. The Baal Devorim means the claimant. It says mi Baal Devorim in the pasuk. Who that is the claimant? Yigash. He brings. He's the one who's going to present and bring. What's he going to bring? He's going to bring a raya. And so that was one. Okay, it's really time. Let's just finish this in 1 second. Let Rabbi Moore teach. Then he says that no, it's here you have another view of what the pasuk is telling me. Mi bal devorim yigash aleihim. He who is the claimant, he should yigash. He should come forward aleihim to them. What should he present to them? Devorav. not the raya, Devora. He should present his claim. He should present his claim, meaning he's the one. He's the first one. He's the first one to have the floor to present.
Gemora means claim, doesn't it?
Devora, that's right. That's
His
his.
thing.
That's his. That's his. Yeah. That's his case. He's going to
Literally,
present
it
his
means
case
thing.
first.
In this context, it means
Yeah.
the claim. Because the claim is the thing.
Claim is
What's Hashem?
It's not the sh-